First of all, which one is correct, Leng or Lang?
Both, really.
Both?
Both, you know. Obviously in German, it's Lang, but I've been living in English-speaking countries longer than in German-speaking countries, so by now it's Lang. So it's both good. But usually people, I think, more internationally know me as Thomas Lang. Yeah.
How do you like more?
I don't care. It's all the same to me. Yeah, I got used to Lang, so I think you know it's now Lang. It both work for me.
Okay. You have phenomenal legs technique. Your legs playing much better than many other drummers' hands. And how do you do this? I mean, what teachers, what books or videos became a foundation of your legs magic?
Yeah. Well, my secret is that inside of my shoes, I have another pair of hands, actually. They're not feet, they're a second pair of hands, no. But I practiced, when I started playing double kick drums, which happened by chance, really. I didn't have any double bass drum books, so I just used snare drum books. Because I thought, if it works for my hands, it's probably going to work for my feet too. So I started very early to experiment and practice rudiments with my feet, and I think that made all the difference, to be able to play, you know, completely freely any kind of combinations of singles and doubles with the feet. And if you can only play singles, you're basically eliminating 50% of what you can potentially play. So I concentrated on doubles and combinations of singles and doubles very early on, and I think over the years that made the biggest difference.
In your videos you play heel up, heel down, you use both of them?
Yes, I use all existing sort of bass drum techniques. I use heel up, stomping techniques, both flat-footed and with the ball of my foot, and I use heel down strokes and I use ankle strokes. So, and also for a few years I used heel toe technique. So I use all techniques, just like you use different techniques with your hands. You know, for some things you use only fingers. For some things you use, for textural stuff, you use only like 2 fingers. For other things you use your wrist or forearm. So you have to mix and combine all these different techniques to get different sounds and to play dynamically. And it's the same with the feet. In order to play dynamically, you have to combine techniques. You can't just play everything using heel up. You know, it doesn't work that way. And it makes it's a lot easier to adjust your technique to play dynamically and to produce certain sounds, or to play fast, quiet, or loud. You know, you have to switch techniques, otherwise it doesn't work.
And how much does the settings of your pedals depends on your playing?
0.
0?
0, yes. I'm not a gear or pedal, manic. I'm not paranoid about settings, and I don't have a pedal phobia. I take the pedal out of the box when it comes from Drum Workshop and I play it. That's it. I never adjust anything, and I don't think about it. To me, foot control is about the foot. It's not about the pedal. It's all about the foot. I want to be able to play on any kind of pedal, no matter what the setting is. Just like I want to be able to play with any kind of stick, not just my special signature stick. You know what I mean? I want to be able to pick up any pair of sticks and play. And it's the same with the pedals. I worry more about my foot, and if the pedal doesn't feel right in the first moment, I adjust my technique so it feels better, you know. So I don't worry about pedal settings at all. Never. Never have, and I hopefully never will, because I play different pedals every day almost. So I also don't have the time to worry about pedal settings. You know, it would be too much of a hassle to start adjusting pedals every day, you know.
Okay, one of the biggest troubles in drummer's life is carpal tunnel syndrome. As you have successfully passed through it, I can't restrain to ask. What is the main reason of appearance of this ill, and how do we can
prevent it?
Prevent it, yeah. And what to do if you have already got it?
Okay, well, that's a very good question, and important questions. In my case, you know, any activity that involves gripping and vibration at the same time can cause carpal tunnel or make it worse, like riding motorcycles. If you ride motorcycles a lot, or if you are driving trucks that vibrate, or any kind of building machines or whatever it is. And of course drumming is the same thing. We grip the stick and we hit things and the stick vibrates. So that aggravates it, and there's nothing you can do about it. If you have a genetic predisposition to carpal tunnel, of course drumming will bring it on and make it worse. And it can also happen if you don't have a genetic predisposition to it. So just playing drums for many, many years with quite a hard grip for loud music can bring it on. And once you have it, for a number of years, when I already had the problem, I just got injections, steroid injections and cortisone injections, just to make it easier to continue to work, but it didn't solve the problem, of course. So in my experience, the best thing you can do if you have it is to get a surgery. And the surgery is easy, and rehabilitation, everything is fairly quick. So, and there's different procedures you can do. You can do the endoscopic surgery, where they just make a very small keyhole, and then they send a little blade in there. They don't have to cut you open, but that version is not doesn't guarantee long-term success. It may help you for a number of years, but then the carpal tunnel may grow back together. So I wanted the surgery where they slice a big chunk of the carpal tunnel out, so it can never grow back together. And it worked for me. It was perfect. It was, if you have the problem, I say don't delay serious measures. Don't wait for too long. Get surgery, if you can afford it or if it's possible. And then after surgery, very important is of course hand therapy, if you can get it. Just doing the right exercises. I had hand therapy every day for 30 days afterwards, so that made a big difference. And I am still doing this hand as well, because I still have it on this hand. This one I had surgery, and I'm very much looking forward to getting it done, because it is annoying. It's a hassle. It's not the end of your career. It's not it's not that much of a problem. It can cause extreme discomfort, and it's always a worry. So for me, the best thing to do was to just get surgery and to never think about it again.
Okay, I read an article where you said that you doesn't play traditional grip anymore. Is it true?
Yeah, well, I do play still, but I try not to. So I try to play everything match grip.
Why?
Because I needed a challenge. I wanted to mix up my playing. I wanted to change things, and the most fundamental thing you can change is your grip in drumming. So with changing my grip, I changed my setup and the angles and the reach and a lot of the style, and stylistic things that I play and the styles of music I play. I just wanted, a fresh breeze and a new influence in my playing, and I switched, everything around. I wanted to change everything, and I changed my drums, my drum companies, and I just wanted to create a new challenge for myself. And also, although I'm a big fan of traditional grip, it is not a very natural grip. If you give a drumstick to a monkey, he's not going to hold it like this. So I wanted a grip that requires less maintenance. Because when you're a working, touring musician and you travel a lot and you work a lot, then you need something that is always reliable and requires zero maintenance and zero effort. So that's not traditional grip. Traditional grip requires constant, supervision and constant babysitting and constant warming up and maintenance. So I wanted to, after so many years of playing just like this, I just had enough of it, and I wanted to do something easier and something that requires less worry and attention.
What is a secret of successful practicing?
To have a good plan, to have a good practice plan.
I read that you practice only 2 hours a day. Is it true?
I know, I've practiced more, but less than other people. I practiced probably on average, 4 hours a day, on average, for many, many years. So and in addition to that, I did a lot of playing and recording and rehearsing and gigging and so on. So I didn't count that as practicing. So the 4 hours I did were strict practice time, and or maybe 3 to 4 hours, something like that per day. And if you have a good plan, practice plan, then you always know what you have to practice. You always know why you're practicing those things. If you stick to the most basic practice rules, your session will be perfect every time. You know, and you know, I'm sure you may know the saying that perfect practice makes perfect, and that's true. You know, if you waste time practicing, if you get mentally drift off, if you get distracted easily, or if you don't stick with an exercise, or if you don't practice the correct exercises, or if you don't practice them and push yourself constantly, then the impact and the results are just not as satisfying, you know. So I think the most important thing is to have a plan and to stick to it when you practice.
Okay, here are some questions from our audience.
Okay.
I'll read them, and first of them is from our youngest, smallest.
Okay.
You both play V-drums and acoustic drums. That's why this question for you.
Okay.
What is better, electronic or acoustic drums?
This is the wrong question.
I know.
Yeah. But I can tell you, if you ask Chick Corea or Herbie Hancock or Joe Zawinul, if you ask them that same question, what's better, a synthesizer or an acoustic piano? All would say, why? Of course, both. You know, no, there's no either or. There is always, you have to have both, no question. It shouldn't be a decision between two different things. It's all one instrument, and electronic drums are part of playing drums, just like a synthesizer is part of playing keyboards, or being a pianist or a keyboard player. You know, you have to be able to play everything. You have to know how to play and how to modify and how to program acoustic drums. You have to be able to tune acoustic drums and modify electronic drums. So for me, that never was an issue. I never thought about it as two different instruments. It's one instrument. It's just, you know, you have cymbals. It's like saying what's better, splash cymbals or chinas. It depends on what you want, what you use. They're all cymbals, just like drums are all drums, electronic or acoustic, but it depends on what you want to use them for. And since today a lot of music, probably most 90% of all music is produced with electronic sounds, with synthesizers, with sequencers, you have to be able to recreate those sounds authentically, not just simulate them, but you have to actually have those exact same sounds. You know, if you have an 808 bass drum, you can't simulate that with an acoustic bass drum. So you have to have that sound, and in order to reproduce these sounds, you need the equipment. So for me, the answer is both, not either or, but definitely both. And if you can play hybrid kits, you know, combinations of both, or have two different sets for different playing situations, if you can afford it, get both. And for practicing, if you're a young drummer and you're practicing in an apartment, or you know, you don't have a separate rehearsal room, electronic drums are fantastic because you don't have to soundproof a room. They're quiet. You can work with headphones and have fantastic drum sounds. You don't have to tune them and get new drum heads, you know, every couple of months. They're already perfectly in tune, and it's a lot more inspiring to play a great sounding electronic kit than to play, you know, a not well tuned acoustic kit. You don't have anger, you know, or issues with your neighbors. You don't need to be in a soundproof room. Your parents can just close the door and say, put the headphones on and turn it down, and you can still practice any time of day or night. So they have a lot of benefits for young musicians especially. So in his case, I would probably recommend, you know, some electronic drums to start and to practice and to invest as much time learning as possible without getting kicked out of the apartment, you know.
Okay, and what should we always remember to be in excellent playing form?
I think to be in excellent playing form, you have to sort of mentally be ready for it. You know, have fun and don't overthink things. Don't get paranoid about things. Don't worry too much about equipment and gear and this and that. I think the most important thing is to be in sort of a playing mood. You know, to think about the music first and to think about the creativity and the creative aspect of playing more than about techniques and stuff like that. I think that's to just have a, be in the right frame of mind for making music, which is an artistic thing. It's not just a sport, sporty athletic thing. It's very much artistic and creative. So, to be in your best playing shape or playing form, I think you have to be completely open and creative,
That's all. Thank you a lot.
Igor, my pleasure. Thank you.
My pleasure.